Om Shanti. Murli date 15th June 2022. Essence. Sweet children, it is now the stage of retirement for all of you. You now have to return home. Therefore, remember the Father and the home. Become pure and finish all your accounts. Question. What patience does the Father give you, children? Answer. Children, there will be many varieties of obstacles in the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. However, you have to have patience. When your influence spreads, countless people will come and they will all bow their heads in front of you. The bonds of those is bondage will then finish. The more you remember the Father, the more your bonds will become conquerors of sinful actions. Song. No one is unique like the innocent Lord. Om Shanti. This title, Bholenath, Innocent Lord, always referred to Shiva. You have now clearly understood the contrast between Shiva and Shankar. Shiva resides in the highest on high incorporeal region, whereas Shankar is a resident of the subtle region. How can he be called God? Only the one Father resides in the highest on high place. Then on the next floor there are three deities. He is the Father, the highest on high, incorporeal one, whereas Shankar has a subtle form. Shiva is the innocent Lord, the ocean of knowledge. Shankar cannot be called the ocean of knowledge. You children now understand that ShivBaba, the innocent Lord, has come to fill your aprons. He explains the secret of the beginning, the middle, and the end. The secret of the Creator and creation are very simple. Yet, even the great rishis and munis did not know these easy things. Since those who were Rajguni, the middling level of purity, did not understand these things, how can those who are Tamoguni, impure ones, understand? You children are now personally sitting in front of the Father, and He is telling you the story of immortality. You children have the faith that our Baba, ShivBaba, is telling us the true story of immortality. There should be no doubt about this. It is not a human being who is telling us this story. The innocent Lord is ShivBaba. He says, I do not have a body of my own. I am incorporeal and people worship me in my incorporeal form. They celebrate the birthday of Shiva. The Father is beyond birth and death. He is the innocent Lord, the one who will come and definitely fill everyone's apron. However, only you children understand how He fills your aprons. He fills your aprons with the imperishable jewels of knowledge. This is the knowledge that the ocean of knowledge comes to give you. There is only the one Gita, and there are no verses in Sanskrit. What would innocent women know about Sanskrit? Innocent Baba only comes for them. Women simply used to stay at home and be engaged in their housework. But it has now become the fashion for them to have a job. Baba has now come to teach you the most elevated of all studies. Those who haven't studied anything are the ones who first receive the urn of the study of knowledge. In fact, all of you are devotees or Sitas, and Rama has come to liberate all souls from Lanka of Ravan. That is to liberate all souls from sorrow. You will then return home with the Father. Where else would you go? Everyone has been remembering the home, saying, "We want to be liberated from sorrow." You children understand that no one can receive liberation in the middle of the drama. Everyone has to become Tamo Pradhan. The main foundation burns away. That religion itself disappears and only some of its images remain. If the images of Lakshmi and Narayan were also to disappear, how could you find their memorials? You know the deities used to rule and that their images still remain. You children have to explain all of these things. You understand that Lakshmi and Narayan in their childhood were prince and princess, Radhe and Krishna, and they later became the emperor and empress. They became the masters of the golden age. The feet of the deities cannot even touch the impure world. Shri Krishna is a prince of Vaikuntha. He cannot speak the knowledge of the Gita. So, there has been such a big mistake. Krishna cannot be called God. He is a human being who belongs to the original deity religion. In fact, the deities Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar live in the subtle region, whereas here there are human beings. Human beings cannot be called residents of the subtle region. They say, "Salutations to the deity Brahma and the deity Vishnu." That is the deity religion. They speak of goddesses Lakshmi and God Shri Narayan. Human beings take 84 births. You children know that you originally belonged to the deity religion. That religion used to give so much happiness. No one can ask, why were we not there? You know, there was originally the one original eternal deity religion, and that the other religions then came number wise. You children can explain all of them, these things. You children can explain all of these things. This is an eternal, predestined play. And so the golden age has to come again. This only happens in Bharat because Bharat is an eternal land and it is never destroyed. You have to explain all of these things. The Father's birth takes place here. His birth is divine. It is not like that of human beings. The Father has come to take you away. So simply remember the Father and the home, and you will enter that kingdom. This is the devilish Rajasthan, land of kings, and Father takes you to the divine Rajasthan. He doesn't give you any difficulty at all. You simply have to remember the Father and the inheritance. This is the silent chant. You don't need to say anything with your lips. You don't need to repeat anything in a subtle way internally. Just remember the Father in silence while sitting at home. The children who are in bondage also hear these things while sitting at home. They don't have the freedom to come here. So, yes, stay at home and try to remain pure. Say, I received directions in my dreams to become pure. Death is not just ahead. Death is now just ahead. You are all now in the stage of retirement. When people reach the stage of retirement, they don't have any thought of vice. The Father says, it is now the stage of retirement for the whole world. Everyone has to return home, and so remember the home. You will then have to return to Bharat. Your faces would be turned towards the home. You children are not giving any difficulty. It is very easy. Even when preparing food at home, do it while in remembrance of ShivBaba. Normally, when someone is at home cooking food, she remembers her husband. The Father says, this one is the husband of all husbands. Remember the one from whom you receive the inheritance for 21 births. Acha, if any one of you does not have the freedom to come here, then stay at home and just simply remember the Father and the inheritance. You have to find a method to free yourself. You can claim your full inheritance from the Father. Gradually, you will become free. Yes, there will definitely be obstacles in the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. When your influence finally spreads, people will come to bow down to you. However, there are also obstacles that interfere. Have patience. Do not become impatient. While sitting at home, explain one thing to your husband and to your friends and relatives. Tell them the instructions of the Father. Remember me and claim your inheritance. It cannot be Krishna who says these things. It is the Father who has to be remembered. Give them the Father's introduction so everyone comes to know our Baba is ShivBaba. You are now able to have very good remembrance. This bondage of violence etc. will just last for a short while. As you go further, all of these things will end. Some illnesses are cured instantly, whereas others continue for even 1 or 2 years. Therefore, there is only one solution here. Continue to remember the Father and all your bonds will end. This is why you must have patience in every situation. The Father says, the more you remember me, and the more your sins will be absolved, and more your intellects will continue to break out of all bonds. There is also the bondage of sins, and lust is the number one sin. You are now becoming conquerors of sin. It is by having remembrance that you can become conquerors of sin. When all your accounts have been settled, the account of happiness will begin. It is very easy for those in business because they understand the old account has to finish and the new one will then begin. Continue to have remembrance and your profit will accumulate. If you don't have remembrance, how can you accumulate? This too is a business. The Father does not cause you any difficulty at all. You don't have to go out stumbling anywhere. You have been stumbling around for birth after birth. The true Father is now explaining to you so well. Only God can tell you the truth. Everything else is false. Just look at the contrast between what Baba explains and what humans explain. This is the drama, and the same things will happen again. You now understand that you attain salvation by following Srimad. Otherwise, you would not claim such a high status. You become the instruments for going to heaven. There is no sin there, whereas there is sin here. And this is why there is the punishment of suffering. Therefore, what can those who do not follow Srimad be called? Atheists. Even though they know that Baba is making them into theists, when they don't follow his direction, it means they are atheist. They understand they have to follow the Srimad of ShivBaba. If a soul still doesn't follow, what can be said? Srimad is given in order to elevate you. The Sadguru is the one who is the highest on high. The Father sits here face to face and explains to you children. He has explained to you every cycle. The scriptures etc. belong to the path of devotion. There are countless scriptures. People give so much respect to the scriptures. Just as they take the scriptures around the city, so they also take the images around a city. Now Baba says, forget all of those things. Just become a point. Simply put a dot to everything. Do not listen to anything at all. Hear no evil. See no evil. Talk no evil. Do not listen to anything except the things the Father tells you. Become bodiless and continue to forget everything else. You souls are now listening through your bodies. The Father comes and explains to you through Brahma and shows you children the path of salvation. No matter how many different methods you tried before, you souls were not able to attain liberation or liberation in life. They have even made the span of the cycle so long. If it is in their fortunes, they will hear these things. If it is not in their fortunes, then they are not able to come. So here too it is a question of fortune. The Father explains so easily, and yet some say we are not able to speak about these things. Yet it is so easy. Just simply remember the Father and inheritance. In Sanskrit, they have referred to this as Manmanabhav. ShivBaba is the father of all souls. Krishna cannot be called the father. Brahma is the father of all people. Who is greater, the father of souls or the father of people? By remembering the senior Baba, you will receive the reward of the inheritance of heaven. As time goes by, many will come to you. Where else can they go? Therefore, they will continue to come here. When many people go to a particular place, others who see them go there too. There will continue to be expansion among you too. No matter how many obstacles come, you have to go beyond that conflict and establish your own kingdom. The kingdom of Rama is now being established. The kingdom of Rama is the new world. You know that you are using your bodies, minds, and wealth for making Bharat into heaven on the basis of Srimad. The first thing to ask souls is, what is your relationship with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul? What is your relationship with the Prajapita Brahma? That is the unlimited Father. And then there are all different genealogical trees. They must have all started from one soul, from one. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, created the world through Prajapita Brahma. That is, he changed souls from impure to pure. The world doesn't understand anything they say. We were worthy of worship and we then become worshippers. However, they say this referring to God. If God also became a worshipper, who would make you souls worthy of worship? Ask them this question. The meaning of Hamso has been explained to you, children. Hamso means we were Shudras and now becoming deities. You can remember the cycle, can you not? It has been said, father shows son and then son shows father. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for Dharna. First point, become a clever businessman. Finish all of the old accounts and begin the new account of happiness. Stay in remembrance and cut away the bonds of sin. Be patient and do not rush. Second point, while preparing food at home and performing every action, stay in remembrance of the Father. Fill your apron with the imperishable jewels of knowledge the Father gives you and donate them to others. Blessing. May you be a master creator and as a detached observer sees any games of Maya as entertainment. No matter how many colors Maya shows you, observe the games of Maya with this awareness. I am the Lord of Maya. Maya is a creation and I am a master creator. Do not be defeated in the games. Be a detached observer and continue to see the games as entertainment, and you will then claim a first number. For such souls, any problem from Maya will not seem like a problem. There won't be any questions. Constantly be a detached observer and remain aware of the Father's constant company, and you will become victorious. Slogan. Make your mind cool, your intellect merciful, and your mouth sweet. Om Shanti.